Hi, I'm Brian, and I have a very important question for you. What do a tortilla chip and a slice of pizza have in common? Well, first of all, they're both delicious, and secondly, they're both triangles. There's a plethora of triangle questions on the SAT. Yep, plethora is also a vocab word meaning lots of. So that's what we're going to focus on in this lesson, a plethora of triangles. Before diving into a sample triangle problem, let's first brush up on our basics. The first and most important rule that you need to remember is that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees, no exceptions. This is a rule that is always included at the beginning of each math section. So don't worry if you forget it. It's one of the gimmies from the test writers to you. Thank you, test writers. If we know two of the three angles in a triangle and have to solve for a third, we simply add the values we do know and then subtract the sum from 180. This is a type of problem that you'll see quite often on the SAT, but we're up for a challenge. So let's take a look at a more complex question. If the angles of a triangle are in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 4, what is the measure of the largest angle? The options here are A, 20, B, 45, C, 75, and D, 80. Next, let's underline the facts and circle the key words. Then we'll label the answers largest angle. The first thing we need to do is draw a triangle. Don't worry if it's not to scale. We don't know what the angles are. Now, let's label the triangle with what we know. The ratio is 2 to 3 to 4. What we can do is label them as 2x, 3x, and 4x. Because they are all in ratio to one another, we know that to find each angle, we're going to multiply the ratio by the same number. We know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180. Let's use this information to make an equation. We can then say that 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 180. If we combine like terms, we find that 9x equals 180. If we solve for x by dividing by 9, we get that x is equal to 20. Let's look back at the question. To find that measure, we are going to have to find the value of 4x, which is our biggest angle. Remember, we're looking for the measure of the biggest angle, not the value of x. Notice that if you misread the question and thought you were looking for x, there is a wrong answer choice waiting for you. Be careful. All right, let's get back to finding the correct answer. If we plug in our newly found 20 for x, we get 4 times 20 equals 80. If we want to double check, we can look back at all three angles and plug 20 into all of them. We get the values 40, 60, and 80. These add up to 180 as per the requirement of interior angles. Since all that checks out, we can look at our answer choices again. The correct answer is answer choice D. All right, you deserve a treat for that one. Now you'll never look at tortilla chips or pizza the same way again. Which brings me to a pro tip that'll help you make the connection between the angles and sides of a triangle. The smallest angle of a triangle is always opposite the shortest side, and the biggest angle of a triangle is always opposite the longest side. Also, if two angles of a triangle are the same, that means that the lengths of the sides opposite the angles are the same as well. One last thing before I let you go. Don't forget that if there are variables in the answer choices, or if the question asks for the value of one angle minus another, you can always pick numbers. Now that you've learned about calculating angles, make sure you solve some of the many practice problems available throughout this course.